All right. Uh, Hello, everyone. This is Nurgent. Welcome to the third episode of the podcast of the Visions. I'm here with Zeph, J, and Q. Let's see, it's 1 year anniversary in 2 days, or less than that almost, and it's been a long year.
Yeah, well, lots of interesting topics to talk about today. So overall, kind of where we've been this whole year and what we look forward to next. And of course, as us know from our sponsor, we are sponsored by Hiroki's Hot Juice this episode. Hopefully, we don't have to drink as
Yes.
much as he did, but
Yeah. I mean, maybe if I drink some, I'll go and throw darts and then rig a game. There's the cat. As long as it's in our face. Hey, I'll take 6K viz. That was pretty
yeah,
cool.
I was like, that was not one for the distance. He just threw it. I was going to be like, you got to get back and throw that again or drink it again or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was.
Did you notice when they did the Titan card and they enlarged the target, they just kept it?
Oh yes.
I thought, oh, maybe they'll just for that one round, but then as soon after that, it made everything so much easier for them.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I heard them say, "We'll take away prize," I'm like, "Oh, that's not cool. We have nothing to do with this."
yeah. When I was watching the guild battle fight, which yeah, Diggs got destroyed to say the least. That's what happens when you pick your favorite people instead of the best people. But we, I was like, oh no, he picked the Magicite. I'm like, I need a ton to level some Espers, and if we really don't get that, that's gonna suck. So thankfully, we still got it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Hiroki came out.
yeah, he picked the very best one. I was like, oh no, he's not gonna win with that team.
I can't say for any other guild, but our guild was not pleased after the lineup he revealed in the prize that he was going to get.
I respect him for staying true to his favorites, though.
Yes. Yep. I would have just ran Gunners the whole time, but that's just expected. Except for this guild map, which brings us to our best and worst guild maps of the year. I like to start out with this guild map sucks.
Seconded.
Yeah, we flipped our guilds are now tied on this map to end this map. None of us cleared. I mean, we would have cleared, I think, once if somebody actually logged into attack before reset, but we won anyway. But it's unlike any other map. It's hard to get comps to work right. Positioning is vital with everything. I just I don't like this map, and I can't wait to get rid of it.
Yeah, there's really not much you can do. It's almost like single lane, one versus one almost, and then hate manipulation. There's, I mean, tiny things to consider, but it doesn't really you can't really get creative with comps. You're kind of almost restricted with what you can do. Almost, it feels like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it also seems like kind of like a cash grab as well. As like, do you have Garble? Do you have Dwayne? If you don't, sucks to be you
Yeah.
almost. But again, I totally agree with Seth. I do not like this map at all. I kind of want to go back to where there's actually a meta versus not. Do you have the units?
Right. And you're not seeing the same team over and over, just in different slot orders and trying to line them up and match them up.
yeah, and this is almost as I don't know if this was as bad because at the time in Eden, we had what map was it that it was the small map with the pillars, the 4 pillars in the center, and everybody ran Ruin Stern Evade, and everybody on Eden said, "Oh, the
Oh, yeah, that,
counter to evade is run Kilfay." And by then, you couldn't just run Kilfay anymore. You had to do a little bit more effort than that, and um, I think that's when we started really going down. I think we tanked like I don't know 1 or 2 weeks in a row just because. Oh, Eden can fall to evade. Let's just put the same thing on, and then you try, and your guys would get stuck, and then your healer's out of range, line of sight issues, and that was I didn't like that map. What about you,
I
Zeph?
think my least favorite map, I would have to say it's between this one and the Gunner one. I say the Gunner one just because I was so tired of just every day Gunners, 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 or like almost it felt like an eternity. It just wasn't that fun to just go against like Gunners at all times. I mean, it was super easy if you're going against a guild that really wasn't that equipped to Gunners. I mean, me and Jay could probably finish up within 2 hours and then call it a day, but it wasn't that fun.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of fun, but
yeah, yeah, I did too. That was the map that I found the comp that we ended up using in limited guild battle, and we used modifications of it with the triple gunner. Nivlu blows you all up in one shot, and when I first came up with it, I think I cleared all of us, and like I think I just my one comp cleared the entire Visipor mock and had like 10 attacks left, or 10 full attacks left, so 20 hits. I'm like, I think this is gonna work because it just was so. And so that was kind of fun with it, and I've tried using Fred since the beginning, and it was great to see her back in and stuff like that. But I don't know if there's any other. I can't even think of any other maps that I've really stuck to, um, other than that map because that was just so fun for me.
I like the bridge map with I think it was Glaciella.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, that.
The bridge map I like that one with that little ditch in the front where everyone had to put wall jump one or that one. It was fun to get the buffs going and then you charge over. I enjoyed that one a lot.
yeah, that was pretty interesting. And then you get either people get stuck on the wrong lane or they get
Mhm.
lined up on the bridge and eat some AOE attacks or stuff like that. And so it
That
definitely
map
made for interesting battles.
that map was very short-lived. That was only around for like 2 weeks. I really liked that map too. I think that
Oh,
was when
that's right.
Cetra was in its prime. Because we did Warrior of Light, Eldira, and Glaciella a lot. And then I remember we had it for like 2 weeks, and then immediately went into Halloween.
Oh yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
And
that
I
I
like the snow
I
map actually.
remember.
Oh,
Oh, it's no map.
yeah. Well, what?
Snow map was good for me because no evade. It's like literally like you didn't have to run it. You could really run it, or you could, but it didn't work that well. That was kind of a breath of fresh air because the map before was that Tombstone map, really small Runestone pain map. Like that wasn't fun at all. But snow
Yeah,
map for me.
That was another gunner map that I thought like I enjoyed that map too because it's just again keep the gunners. And that was fun.
yeah, yeah. Missiles. And that kind of goes around with the different evolution of the meta, right? There's two things that has seemed to affect everything. It's either the units that are out with the current banner, or the counter to the current units that are out, or it's um, the unit effect. So I think it was good that they used the maps to change the meta. Like you're saying, getting rid of evade because we dealt with high evade for so long, and you had to make sure you ran full accuracy or had to have enough teams to deal with it. Um, it was able to give us that break of we don't have any we don't have to worry about it. We can worry about running mages and other things, and not have to worry about getting blown up by Stern all the time. And if we do, we have to worry about taking the hits and not dealing the hits. But I think that was a big shift in the meta. That was nice. And then we had our times with early on it was when Lucia came in. That was another meta defining unit. I think it got rid of Mont. You could no longer run Mont as a tank because Lucia just if you didn't have Engelbert run, you were dead. Um, but I think it was nice how the meta kind of flowed. I don't think there's any real units that or didn't have their time to shine, you could say.
I think Sakura
Most would
didn't
work.
get her time to shine because she came during the gunner map and she just
Yeah.
didn't work very well with that map.
Well, you
felt like.
guys used her this past map a lot. I think I think it was like there was a bunch of like Agrias, Leela, Sakura, and that actually worked out pretty well. But again, with Garvel out, just totally
Yeah.
overshadowed, kind of like the
Hmm.
Glaciella with it. Really the Pierce was Kane, and then and then gone again once Gunners took over. Um, anything else that I don't think there's really been that big of a shift. What do you see new like coming forward? Have you guys looked into JP to see if there's any big maps you're looking forward to? Or I personally haven't really looked into any of the other maps. I go at it like this until day one, and then I look at the map and say, oh my God, what do we do?
Pretty much me too. I don't look too far ahead because I figure most likely, I mean, things change. It's not exactly the same as JP. I mean, sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's not. So I try not to just focus on that. I just kind of see what comes maybe like a week before. Then I see, okay, this, like they say, it's going to be a new guild map. Like, okay, then I kind of look into it. But if it's they don't say it, then it may not happen. So I don't look too far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at JP, they've already had a lot of maps that we haven't gotten, like the summer maps. We never
Mhm.
saw any of those. I think after Mines, didn't JP get the winter map? I want to say, but they got a different winter map. I want to say in some videos that I saw.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I don't see us getting those now. Maybe we'll see like a summer or spring map. And then I think when Kane came out, JP had a jungle map, and we
Oh.
never got that. We ended up getting the runes again. So it's hard to follow JP because it's really they've gotten so many other maps that we haven't gotten, and we've already started to recycle maps. So I just look at the news, see what's coming up, and then that's when I do the research.
Because if you do too much research, you'll get into some of what we get in the next two things about looking back at the past year, which is some of the best units you've pulled, which a lot of times is because of what's in JP, and some of the biggest regrets that you've pulled probably because you looked too much into JP and not what was there. But hey, Q, what's your best unit? I think the best investment that you made in a unit.
Well, it's limited. I think the answer is blatantly obvious, but I think I'm siding with Little Leela. I think what her kid and what she does is just really over the top, and I want to see what she's going to be at 120. Overall, like between her and Garble, it's like one of the two of the best units out in this game so far.
Yeah. So
How about you, Seth?
So I definitely echoing you, Little Leela. I think she was probably the biggest investment anyone could have gotten. That, and I almost want to say, well, I'll leave this for the next segment, but Little Leela, as a fanboy, I want to say Glaciella, just because I was simping for that girl for since she came out in JP, and in every map she comes out, I still try to make her work. You can ask Jay. That's like the first comp that I'll try to mess with. Was to be like, I brought her back. But yeah, Little Leela is probably the best limited character out there. I mean, we've seen her used for the past like almost 4 months consistently. She's almost in every team.
Yeah, Lily is definitely the most valuable, but I really liked Luartha was one of my favorites because just adds more. Like we only had like what two gunners at the time, or maybe three. I think I forget who was first, but when we got Luartha, actually added some more mix to it, and I liked her more than most of the other guns because just the amount of damage and power she had without even having to use bells. She doesn't even need it, so she's definitely for me. I like one of my favorite units.
yeah, she made a lot of teams, with the power where just a dual trigger and just erased a unit on the other side of the map. Like, oh, on the gunner map, against Agrias, it just.
Yeah.
But I would say because somebody who couldn't pull Warrior of Light, I think Agrias is one of the best units that I decided to build. Not having Warrior of Light, she easily could replace, but in a lot of comps, but also can make or break, with all the different status effects, running high faith against Magic teams and before all the resist gear came out, she was just nuts. And then, give her a max limit break in 97 faith and, she's got the AP, she's just going to hew and confused, and hopefully that wins it for you and they don't do something stupid. But, she's got that built-in, the built-in master ability has got the unit attack resistance into it. So not only do you have her stats in the cards, but she's got that. So I can't wait to see her EX job. I was thinking Leela, but I can't. I've been trying to use Ildira more because of different ability toggles and guild battle defenses versus offenses. So I try to work her in more. Whereas if there's a comp that needs a tank, it's got to be, it's got to be her. I don't consider Dwayne a tank at all. He can take hits and hold threat, but he can get shot, one shot, two shot, real easy, depending on even on this map. You get two strong gunners or two strong Pierce units or something, and he's gone. It's not even the magic units, because even then you're building against, Dwayne's great against, okay, I built him against magic. It's a magic map. Well, he just got hit against something not magic, or, oh, look, you just got one shot by Stern because you focused all on magic resist. So, but yeah, she's great, but I'm gonna see that the biggest regret of a unit that I built and pulled, and this is gonna make somebody below me cry, is Howlet. Because so in the meta, right, he was meta best character, yeah, and then Leela came out like he was supposed to be the answer to Kilfei, but Leela was the answer to Kilfei. He was just kind of the dude who just, hey, what about me? And so I built him and I tried to put him in comps, and the only one I could see really make it work besides you, Zeph, is this guy up here, Bejesus. He always tried to use him too in his comps. So
When you have a battle of the genders, you're gonna regret that comment. He's your only male healer so far, I know. Yeah. Moving on to me, I guess, and the biggest regret that when I think of in terms of a unit, I think it's gonna also make Seth happy. I pulled this unit because Diggs literally got like one or two pulls, and I thought I could have that same luck. It took me way more pulls than that, and I care to admit. But that unit is Victoria. You could make her work, and lore wise, that doesn't really work well for Pegasus Yellow. So I'm Steph's happy with that comment. Overall, it seems like, and she came out during a time before the CT change came in. So when you want her to dive, she would miss that dive. It would like annoy you, and a lot of her abilities took so much AP, kind of like screwed you for second fights, and or if it didn't cost the first fight because she would just miss. And sadly, she's not also that tanky. So Kane kind of erased her from the game for me.
yeah.
For me, it would be Freya. I was when she first came out. First global exclusive, and I played FFE before, and she was awesome there. So I thought, she's gotta be cool, right? Pulled her, tried so hard to make her work, and just even with the new update AI, where she'll actually full life, is couldn't get her to work. Terrible.
Yeah, and Eden, a lot of people pulled for her, and they were all very upset, especially with the AI. Like, no full life, come on, what's going on? And then they fixed the AI, and everyone tried to use her again, and back in the garbage.
She wants to be in melee range so much. That's what she wants to do.
I think my biggest regret, and it's not even because I didn't like the unit, but it's just how much I blew to just get it, was Lucia. Lucia, to this day, is the one unit that I spent the most Vizier on. I think it took me like 64.
Wow.
Like 64,000, and I was just like kept pulling. I was like, no, I'm gonna get it. Pull. Right. I think I pulled like 5 Rob Horns in my like trying to get Lucia. and I pulled it so much that I was able to max the tetrasulfide vision card. It was back when it was a little hard
Mm.
to max vision cards, but I like literally maxed that vision card within an hour of maintenance ending. And I was like, well, I guess I'm ready for the Flan raid. So who wants me in their party? Uh, but yeah, I mean, I just so much Vizier investment, and then I used her for like 1 month, maybe like 1 or 2 months, and then we moved on to a new character. But
Wow. Yeah, she I pulled on her banner. I didn't have much saved up, and I pulled like, as the Vizier accumulated, and I think I pulled her on the last day, so I was one of those people who's stuck using Medi on that raid and only got so high, so I got screwed with no real good at I think +1 or +2 from that raid. So, but yeah, Warrior of Light was like 40, 50K. I can't even remember, but yeah, max Death Machine with the shards. So whatever that was. Um, but yeah, vision cards. I don't think. I don't know. I feel like every vision card that I've pulled, I think I've eventually used in some form or another. So even if I've went and maxed it out or built it, I know there's gonna be use for it in the future. There was like I decided to pull the astrologer card because it seemed interesting. It seemed like there was good proc, good. I try to make it work on this map. It was good ability, good unit effects and things like that. And then yeah, I just haven't used it yet. But looking at the global buff for it, it was I'm looking for it right now.
it's
What?
magic resistance for water units.
Yeah. So I could see that card. I got that's a really good if you're using Tidus and Victoria and uh, you know maybe other water units. You get that free magic resist up, and Leviathan also gives a party magic or a party buff. That's one of those. I think that's the area buff maybe or something like that. But it's uh, it's I think I'll use it a lot in the future and in PvE and things like that. I was one of those people who didn't pull uh, the Exorcist card. Oh, I don't have Ruin Stern. I'll never max him out. Why bother leveling that card? Now I don't have it, and now they're not rerunning it. So, kind of stinks. But back then I didn't realize. Just max revision cards. You can, especially now with the barracks, you can work on units later, even if they're limited. Once you got the unit, get the unit, get the bingo, get the vision card, and then figure that out. But yeah, I've got Leviathan. Has got area resist 20%. So if you use those two cards, you've got area resist, magic resist, pierce attack resistance, AP up, and attack up. So I think that'll be a pretty decent party. And then I think the new card for Tita and oh yeah, no, that's critical damage. So yeah. Or no, hit points plus 25, so that's actually not bad for that ability. But let's see what else is going on. And so one of the other things that I know a lot of people. So Visipor, and I'm not new to, or not. Sorry, not new. I am not long at Visipor. I've only been around since what was it? Since December, I think. Somewhere around there is when I joined.
Time flies. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was. So yeah, it's interesting though that you've seen. There's been a lot of guilds that have come. Um, I've went back into. I still have Eden. So one of the old power guilds from the beginning. We got in because Hippie. The Hippie. I started. He got me into the game. From another game that we played with some other guys, and he just applied to every top guild out there because we were in a guild that, like most people, you don't understand guild, and you're in a guild battle's not, nobody's attacking. Oh my God, we're getting 6 stars and nobody else is doing anything. This stinks. He goes, hey, I just got us all in this guild named Eden. They're number 3. I'm like, what? So we ended up getting in, some of us for not very long because they got booted down to Eternal for, I think, when parts of Fate started breaking apart and they started leaving. And that's where Keys and Hippie were in Eternal for a while. But it's just interesting to see some of these guilds that, were big guilds and, not top, and then just totally fizzle out. And it's good to see that, you got a couple guilds that have really stood the test of time. It's not just the, pull until you have, fatigue of, pulling, and then the guild disbands. And when you have some guilds that have been around like Cetra, and is Visipor a day 1 guild or an early day guild as well?
He was
Visipor,
March.
Visipor has been around for a while. I mean, it wasn't. I think Visipor started getting really competitive towards the end of the summer, or maybe even July. But Visipor has always been around. I think before you guys got competitive, you were always at least top 10.
And
I
you
think so. I joined when it was like 5 or so. I was from a different guild, so I wasn't there since the very beginning, but around July, August time frame.
and you guys formed early, right?
Are you talking about Cetra?
Cetra?
Or yeah. Well, Cetra, we were originally Vodka. But yeah, we were Vodka. But then some of my sub leaders were like, "Yeah, our name isn't really flying for some people that are applying because it was offensive, I guess, to people." And I was like, "How is the name Vodka offensive?" So we went through this whole like week campaign. I think Jay remembers, where we just had this channel, people just shooting names, and then people defending names, and then people like, we need to go with this name, and then someone said Cetra, and I was like, all right, I like Cetra, and then I forgot what names we came down to, but Cetra ended up becoming the winning name. And
I don't know if I was there yet. I came from Emperors, so I think I wasn't there yet when you guys were already Cetra, I think. Or just around the time you changed, maybe.
yeah, but yeah, we were Vodka for a long time, and then rebranded to Cetra, so we were more PC.
Interesting. I mean, Vodka was a really big guild in WoW with the original expansions, so surprised. I think thought that's kind of why you guys must have played WoW or something, but
No, I just literally couldn't think of a name, and I was just looking at a bottle of vodka. Like in past guilds that I've played games with, the names I had a guild in this one game called Mabinogi, long time ago. Couldn't think of a name. I was listening to the song Simple and Clean. And I was like, I'm just gonna call it Simple. And we were
so
like a PvP like guild battle, but guild battle there was more like open world. Everyone was a map. It was like a flag system. Maybe some people watching are familiar with that. And yeah. But we had like 3 people that came from WoW that were from that vodka guild, and they joined thinking that we were affiliated with that guild in WoW, and I was like, no,
Wow, that's
not
pretty
sadly.
funny.
Yeah, because so I've got some of Eden's old guild battle sheets up, and it does show Vodka as 6/14/2020. And it's yeah, you've got man, it wasn't 20 members, I think there, but yeah, I don't know if this is filtered or not. 21: Vodka, Carrot, Suyu, Zins, Blades, Pilot Wolf, Yo-Yo, Azza, Zeph, Dinder, Zach, Velo, Bonks, Cabbage. Same Cabbage?
No, that was Dark Light. He was trolling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was trying to convince people he was like Cabbage in Discord.
yeah. And then you got Kamikaze, Ninja, Kira, Hiroshi, Yu, Cal, and Red Cane. That was the roster against this, and wow, And then Cetra, I think the first Cetra was, they got a couple more 628, so that was only a couple days before you guys renamed. And then you guys had a larger roster with that. So that's interesting. RR was in the guild, Toppy. So yeah, that was interesting. And Fate's back in there, Avalanche, Steel Wings, Sinister, Ixis. I don't remember that. Dead Society, Salt. Lots and lots of Fate and Avalanche and Mystic. But yeah, back in the Visipor, it was, you got some, Vegas and Jarek and Regulus and Zayton, Drada, Zach. Is that the Zach?
This is Zach.
The Zach with the foot fetish.
Yeah.
Cook steak fetish.
Yeah, cook steak fetish. Yeah. And it's I don't see anybody else that's current that's left to go to Cetra on there. But Zach popped out. There's a lot of people I don't know, but like, Weapon X, Rick, um, Meta, Des, a lot of people, Nell Dog, Maximus, a lot of people on there. Is Death on here? No, I don't think he was good enough back then to be in a top guild. Oh, maybe not. So
Before my time, I was
yeah.
still in a different guild in June. Yeah, all the guilds you named, most of them are still around, to be honest. Again, that speaks to the leadership of the community, of what everybody's involved. It to a place where, you know what, we're just having fun here with Poland, and then that became its own thing. Whereas, like, oh, I can log in, I can chat with these people, and just shoot the breeze every time. I'm guessing that's what's just going. And again, this whole new coming EX thing is going to help change that a little bit. Continue that at least, or bring that to new people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it brings in new people. We kind of need that. I think we've lost a lot of folks in the past few months. I think the game needs a new influx of folks. Probably good time to catch up.
Yeah, I think that'll be
Work has been
important.
helping with that at least.
Yeah, everyone gets a comeback bonus. Lots of Viz. I think they've been making things easier to pull. I'm on some discords with some of the old Eden guys who moved on, like Chew and Coffee. And yeah, so I was like, hey, now is the perfect time to come back. They seem to be better with things. They've got all these resources they're giving out. They seem to be giving more time on the limited. There's a lot of things on the live stream that made you think that they're maybe realizing that they can't just say new unit every week, you got to pull it to stay competitive, and if not, you're done. Because they can't do that. And given more time to max out your limited units and even pull the limited units, like let's say you didn't have enough to save. Oh, I'm not going to pull. Okay, do you spend? Or now you can wait, get more free stuff over a month. You can get a lot of things. And if, let's say you finally pull the unit, like say you're pulling for Yuna and you finally get her, well, you can throw her in the barracks and finish, get up to a certain level that you can. You don't feel like you're completely devastated because you passed on some limited unit or didn't have enough viz to like fully level them, and you're stuck with a level 89 warrior of light, or anything like that. But I think with the live stream, I think some of those, and what they've been doing with some of the rewards, I think the game is probably headed in a better direction for next year in terms of player retention.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, beginning there were no guaranteed whatever bonus unit after like 5 rolls. Now that we can pay stuff for 6K, I hope they carry that on over for Yuna and Bahamut. Really save us a lot of money on our wallets. But overall, yeah, I think they're realizing that between Global and JP, we're different games and with a different user base, and they've seen the best kind of take advantage of that and help while helping us as the players. I like where this is going, and I just really hope that they just don't lose track of that.
Yeah, the 9
Yeah, it'll
steps.
be.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the 9 steps are great. The 3-step guarantees were amazing. But I think the last time we had a podcast, I mentioned that the only reason I think they did that was to provoke some people who were saving for a 10 to pull and then spend some of their Visior. So I
Yeah.
mean, if they keep the 3 steps, should I even think a like 6-step for Yuna or would be beneficial? I mean, preferable 3-step, especially Bahamut if they did like a 10-step, because I know he's a double cost unit, so I don't think they're going to do a 5-step for
No.
him. But at least having a better pity system, because just blowing all that Visior for a vision card is going to be crazy.
Yeah, hopefully they realize, and hopefully it works that way. They've actually made more having these step ups and the guaranteed pulls, because if it's guaranteed pull, people are more likely to pull, and then they got to finish the card or finish the unit anyways, right? So that I think in the end, at least for global, they probably do make more giving it out that way, and hopefully they stick with it.
I think that's
Definitely.
perfect. Yeah, we did talk about it with Dwayne.
Mhm.
I'm sure they made a lot more off Dwayne the first time around than the second because, here you go. Here's a guaranteed Dwayne double cost unit, and they didn't even add that this time around. So I'm sure they did, but most people were, I think, going to spend paid resources on Dwayne, who were playing the game at that time, probably took advantage of that. So I think there's a little bit of that, with it. Um, so I mean, they did a lot with the live stream in terms, they're going forward with, everything we thought they were with Final Fantasy X. It's great that we got the extra month. I wonder if they're gonna, there's been some speculation and talking about, well, maybe they gave us an extra month because they're gonna either bring Dwayne back early and EX him, or the winter units before it gets too far away from winter. Why would they let us? The speculation was, why are they going to make us pull for these winter units and then turn around and, have a broken sniper who won't use shield wall for a year until we wait? And they even said something in the text about they'll be getting their upgrades. So I wouldn't be surprised if this extended time they actually do come through on some of those things.
Well, in JP, I think maybe it was a week after EX launch, or maybe it was 2 weeks, but they did rerun the Christmas units for a week.
Hmm.
So, I mean, there's a good chance that we could get that. And then we also have that period where when they did run the Christmas units, what are we going to be slotted for? So that could be a chance that they bring them back, or maybe a global exclusive. We might see something like that.
And that would be nice because not everybody, not everybody is in a whale guild. No, so one of the things that we've had is Bejesus, who's been known in the community. He hangs out on a lot of streams, and it's been originally with Honeybee Inn, but he wanted to take a crack at see what high level guild battle was. He's always high level raider, PVE, and etc. So we said, so Buki at the time said, all right, I'll step down. Let you come up, give it a try. So he comes up, and new banners coming out. And we're all discussing, should we pull this one? I don't know. I want to save. Should we pull it? And then he goes, wait, I thought this was a whale guild, because we're all talking about, no, we're not going to pull. So we, of course, busted his chops for a while, and made the Baby Yoda meme of, crying Baby Yoda. We break out all the time. It's even an emoji on our server. So come join Visipor to use the crying Baby Yoda. I thought this was a whale guild. But yeah, that's you can't play like that, and that's kind of the thing with it. Like with EX coming forward, and with guild, GVG going forward, is everyone going to go and rush and spend all your resources to get level 120 Mont so then I could put him in guild battle? He's still weak to magic, he's still going to get eaten by Leela, so honestly, outside of the the new units, I don't think it's really going to change much out of how it currently is, which is the current banner units typically get more powerful than the older units. So, I mean, I don't see and I don't recommend everyone going out and EXing Oldo and Rob and trying to run it in high level guild battle, because they're just going to get out. You know, you might be good right now, but I think you're going to get outpaced, and you're also going to, I think the fatigue is going to set in a lot quicker, because all these resources, all we're hearing are these resources are limited. And if you try and, okay, I'm going to EX 3 or 4 of these upcoming units, what are you going to have for the next banner that comes out? When they EX the winter units, are you going to have enough? Or they're going to be like, oh, great, Gummy's just making me spend on EX units. Well, you know, they're not making us build them all. And, you know, I think that's going to be a good approach, is being, you know, smart with your, you know, it's one thing for 99, but you need, it's what, 600 shards to 99 and then an extra 400 to get to 120. And that's a lot of resource just to put in a, you know, a character. And if you're looking at, you know, just all the Visior and then all the other materials that you got to farm for it, I don't think it's gonna, outside of new units, and the difference between, right, like right now, we don't have this problem where we're at, but it's like the difference between an 89 unit, maybe the first day of Garvel, versus a 99 unit, right? Whereas maybe in a lower guild tiers, you might see the difference between, you know, between that, but there are going to be a lot of like those, okay, you got the 99 units, the 115 units, the 120 units, and with the stat bumps and everything else like that, I just don't know. Like, I've seen some people like Cabbage say, okay, take this unit to 115. Well, if you're looking to use them in guild battle, you know, with all the different stats and stuff like that, you know, maybe you should kind of think about who you want to bring up before you do it.
Definitely, it's gonna be more economical. It's gonna be more resource planning, and it's like who you really want to bring or who you really, you know, should bring. There's gonna be two different things. Overall, not everyone's gonna 120 everything. Our guild definitely won't. So, see what we can and can't do.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, Zeph's quiet because he's thinking, I'm gonna level 120 Rob, and I'm gonna eat you guys like it's breakfast.
Yeah, my light team is gonna come through. You know, Yuna, Rob, Warrior of Light. We're just gonna. That's gonna be the new Cetra wall.
Yeah, I mean, I know. All joking aside, I will be this surprised if you guys pull a Mount Wall on us in about 2 weeks. Zero surprise.
I don't think that could ever happen. I don't think the Mont Wall is gonna happen. I don't think
120. Come on, they're gonna just throw those boulders, guaranteed hit, right? Evade's dead, right? Evade is dead. Mont is going to lower their defense with that 100% hit. And now with the new update, even if you somehow dodge that massive boulder Mont's going to pick up and throw at you, it's still going to apply that debuff.
Yeah, and we're gonna bring in Zombie, and then we're also gonna bring in Winter Venera. It's gonna be an Earth team.
Triple.
Down.
And you're going to have all the Earth Vision cards, like, right? Chaldean,
yeah.
right? That one's going to
We're
be
gonna
on
use
every
Secret
team.
Tone Luck Vision card as well.
So you're saying you're going to have like so Mont's going to have the luck card, then you're going to have Ifrit in the party, and then you're going to have Titan. So that stone is going to one-shot Garvel, and we're all dead.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I might throw in like Rita's Dream as well, because the stone's going to be missile damage. Right? You gotta think of that.
Yep. That'll be interesting. No, I think it'll be. I honestly, on lower guild battles, I think you're going to see a lower guild teams. I think you're going to see probably a lot of Mont, and I would probably, if you don't have Agris or Warrior of Light, build. You know, you're probably going to want to build, because I don't know. Does Engelbert have his EX in JP yet?
No, he hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, and you know, I think 120 Mont's probably better, especially with those boulders he's slinging. Is probably better than Engelbert.
You put Master Deceit on him, he'll have that initial hate too.
Oh, yeah, and
so he'll actually be useful.
Yeah, and Mask has got a Alaska's got an upgrade too. I forgot I was looking at that. And of course, I wrote them all down and I can't find it. So,
Anti-missile, so Lucia shouldn't one-shot him.
oh yeah, and that would be
until she gets her upgrade.
Yeah.
yeah, till she gets her upgrade, and that's going to be a Mont killer. She's
And
going to
then
have
Katie Ryder coming.
she's going to have Octa
Lara
shot.
Croft. No. Lara Croft. She'll come in one day.
Yep,
Get ported in the FFB. That's it, man. No, we're gunners.
she's going to have her Gatling gun paired with Ariana Grande or Grande Chalupa Supreme. Yeah, she's going to be. Yeah, I saw that and I wasn't sure if that was a joke. I think maybe Red Cane posted it. I never played FFBE, so I
I
guess.
think we had multiple versions of Ariana Grande and I think Katy Perry.
Yeah, Katy Perry was a unit for a while. We're gonna get a Beyonce. Her limit break is gonna be Queen Bee Hive. It's gonna be a lightning unit. All these bees are gonna come out of nowhere. They're gonna have Gatling guns attached to them. Can't run away.
They're going to put a ring on it and it's going to paralyze you. Yeah, I honestly, I think some of that stuff, if they don't try and milk you for it, I think it'll be fun as long as it's meta. If you know what, if they come up with a Beyonce and it's like you have to play, it's like Leela and Yuna together on steroids, I would be upset because then it's like, but having some, give them for free, have it like almost like a reskin of another character at extreme, like maybe a limited, like a Fravia, that nobody really has. So, maybe EX Fravia comes out and oh my God, she's the best unit in the game, which, maybe Eden will get back together too. I don't know. So,
Sorry.
But I think maybe if we get the Tomb Raider one, I think it might be a free unit just because Ariana Grande, I think Katy Perry, those units were all free in FFB.
Oh, that's good.
They might be doing a collab, but I think it might be free. Just kind of like how we're getting a 9S for free coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
I think that's like a month or so.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That's Lightning Spear. Is that the?
Yeah, and what's really cool about 2B and 9S is that Man Killer doesn't work on them because they'll be technically machine.
That's nice.
So, yeah, so Human Killer won't actually work on them, so that'll be pretty cool.
And that is really strong of a unit from what I've seen from the JP auto tournament.
Yeah. I mean, I know that's one thing we're all looking forward to get rid of some of these Maneater. That I think that'll be great. But are there anything else you guys are looking forward to this year?
Unit wise,
anything
on the more
anything with the game or anything in general.
I want to see more like limited guild battle content, something to spice it up. That's what I kind of want to see, because I mean, once us and Visibor reach legend, I mean, it's just gonna be the same thing every day, and I liked limited guild battles as something a little different, maybe like a super rare only guild battle. Like I think in a match battle, the limit's now only 220.
Oh wow!
So like something that allows more creativity, so we're not just constantly going against whatever's meta. Because some more limited guild battles. That's what I would say I'd look more forward to.
That's a great point. I would love to have an MR only battle, like no URs at all, no, the Hades Cups being ran by Disney, something like that.
They can actually work on other units.
Yeah, that was my problem with the MR tournament. I had to sit there and farm all these job materials and JP and all these things I didn't have because I need 3 good MR units, not the trash that I leveled when I didn't know anything about the game when I first started. So I think it was good though that they leveled that. And I think they are having some reduced costs. Like they have the element only uh, quests to get like different items and different things as one of the quest objectives in the PvE content. I like that, and I like the fact that they're adding the didn't they add like some like MR only or like limit like PvE content like some I thought I heard something about they might have added that. But it's not PvP. I mean, it would be great to have guild battle do that, something different. Even then, maybe one of these days we'll end up doing something. If they once we hit legend, when we face each other, we'll have the roster list and we'll say you have to attack you have to attack you, so you build specific defenses for each other or something. Stream the whole thing. I think something like that would be cool if they won't do their own events like that. But I'm hopeful. I'd love to see real. I would love to see spectator mode on guild battles. So if you wanted to stream your guild battle, somebody can just jump in and watch it. I think that would be pretty neat.
I would love that. Yeah, or even just an in-game replay of matches.
Don't they add a feature where you can look at someone's fight? So after they attacked, you can select them and just rewatch the fight.
I don't know.
I
Did
thought
they?
that was a feature that they added. So I thought someone mentioned that JP got something like that.
That would be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, YouTube would love
I
it.
know
Save
with
some
fast
storage.
match, that could be
Yeah. I'm excited to actually dig into the EX system, and we read about it, watch videos, watch people talk about it. But I think actually going in and actually play with it and do stuff with it, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, Final Fantasy VII. That's gonna collab. That's gonna happen too one day.
Oh yeah,
probably next
that'll
season.
be insane.
No, I'll go for Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy IV was my game growing up. Back, show my age, but back when I used to walk to the grocery store to rent Super Nintendo games, we would nobody rented Final Fantasy II, and if you had it where if you rented it on a Sunday through a Tuesday, you got 2 days for the price of one. So we would rent it, and then so when you rent it on Tuesday, Sunday, and then you take it back and then re-rent it on Tuesday, you had it for almost a whole week. And then when we'd bring it back, we'd save the same save on all of the spots when we'd give it back, and just to hope that our game came back, because you couldn't find it anywhere, and everywhere you could find it, it was at the time it was like $75 or something like that. And I I was a little kid, I didn't have money, so my parents, of course, nope. But then we walked into some random video game store next to a haircut place my mom was getting, and they had it on the wall used for like $24. I'm like, you have to buy this. Like, and we played it to death. We buddy of mine figured out with Game Genie how to skip around in the content. So if in the beginning of Final Fantasy IV, so when you get Cecil, Dark Knight Cecil, and you use the walk through walls code, where you walk to get to the airship, where you leave the castle of Baron and you get your airship for the first time. Well, if you walk through walls through there, it goes to that cutscene. So it totally skips like half the game. So we're like, oh, we can't move forward. So we kept trying to figure out different places in the game that you then would go back to hit the right order, because, all right, we got down to the dwarves, and then you'd face Golbez, and then you just die because you never got Rydia and lost her, so she couldn't come back and save you. So your whole entire save was just gone. There was zero way to win. You're just done. So we had notebooks of writing down the different orders, because he was a Palom and Porom fan. So he figured out the ending party to be Cecil, Kain. I think it was Cecil, Kain, Rosa, Palom, and Porom, or maybe it was Cecil, Kain, Palom, Porom, and Edge. It was one of those, because he wanted to beat the end boss with him, and that was. So I mean, but on the other, I would love to see Final Fantasy VI. I played that a lot, and I played FFBE for like a week. And it was during the recent FF6 collab, and I ended up pulling Locke, and I used him, and it was just like just the power creep was absolutely disgusting. Because I pulled him a couple times and all the free stuff for new players, and immediately Neo Visioned all the way up, and he just destroyed everything. But so I didn't bother staying to play that game. But it was it was it was cool seeing some of those characters. I would have liked a little different, but I think the collabs. I think they should try to get all the Final Fantasy games, especially the older ones. I think that would be really good.
Yeah, hopefully they eventually will get them all at some point. People love different ones of the series.
Yeah, that's why a lot of us play this game, especially, and they add more collabs. They draw hopefully more people, and
My favorite was always was it Squall and Renoa. I forget which one that one was. 8? 8, yeah, that was my
Eight, too.
favorite. Yeah, I played that one a lot. That was my favorite. So hopefully they bring that one in sometime.
I don't know if this will show my age, but 10 was my first one. And I was like,
So this is actually something I heard from my friend. Basically, your favorite Final Fantasy game is how old you were when you were 12 or 13.
that's
It
how old I
resonates,
think
yeah.
I was when. No, actually, when 10. I won't even tell you guys how old I was. But yeah, 10 was my first Final Fantasy, and then what got me actually into the Final Fantasy series was Kingdom Hearts, because I
yeah,
was young, and my mom was dating this guy who was huge into JRPGs, and he introduced me to Kingdom Hearts. I played that, and then I started playing 10.
See, I actually played one, and one the character is kind of boring. I thought, I mean, I guess you get Warrior Light, but
yep.
you got Red Mage, White Mage, I don't know, not that special. I thought, but
You didn't farm enough, and you get to the first boss and die, and you're like, huh? Yeah. Before I
first
understood
time
it,
getting into those.
yeah, we traded in our Nintendo for F-Zero. Bad choice. It wasn't my choice, but yeah. No, that I did I actually I've seen almost all of Final Fantasy X played, but I've never played it. Because at the time that was my first apartment I lived in, and a buddy of mine, he was living with his parents and he didn't like hanging out there, so he kept his PlayStation at my house, at my apartment. He would come over after work and we would just sit on the couch, talk, and he'd play through it all. And we would have something to drink or whatever, and people would come over and we'd just hang out and for hours and watch it. So I think I've watched almost the entire Final Fantasy X without actually touching a controller. But it was a good so the collab is a lot of the names. Oh, Jack, I remember Jack Shot and like a lot of these things, and even from just watching it. But yeah, Final Fantasy games have a lot of good memories for I think a lot of people, especially and then they add the remakes and it brings in nostalgia, and then they bring the collabs into the newer games, and I think it's great. But so any final thoughts for our third episode, Zeph?
Look out for that Rob Horn wall.
Luck to you and your pulls, guys. Hopefully, all the
Yeah.
users you get Yuna and Bahamut and Auron and all your cards within the first couple of pulls.
Yep. Good luck in the next week. Hope you get everything you wanted, and hopefully you don't quit.
Rage quit no Yuna.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I mean if any of you guys want if you want to see any of us record our polls and post them here, and maybe we can roast each other during a podcast episode maybe. Let us know if that's something you'd want to see. I'll try and I know I got a lot of tickets and stuff saved up. I think we can maybe even if we're not pulling live, we can laugh at all the garbage that we pull, or maybe it's short and we all got what we wanted. But I know that other people's misery makes great content. Um,
Yes, it does.
so, all right. Well,
What else are we gonna do?
yeah. Well, we got a day. We got 24 hours. In less than 24 hours, the game will be shut down for maintenance. Hope everyone ended up the year how they wanted to in Guild Battle. you know, it was tough on this map. We almost had a last second flip flop. Well, we probably still could if we lose tonight, which I hope we don't. But I think things will be great next year. Maybe next year it'll be some guild that nobody's ever heard about. It's number 1 at the end of the year, number 2, and we're all just relaxing in Cetrapor, where guild leaders go to die. Oh, wait, that's Visipor. So.
Up for that. It's going to be very casual, very, very soon. I know that.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you all next week with how we enjoyed our first week.
See you guys.
See ya.
Yeah.